The Romantic era took place during the late 18th century to mid-19th century, most prevalently seen in Europe. Romantic works usually displayed contrasting ideas or beliefs to what had emerged during the prior Enlightenment period. Imagination and feelings were common themes during this time, with emotion being valued greater than logic. Rules and guidelines were set to the side so that creativity could be explored and flow freely. Romantic literature focused on the medieval romance genre. Visual arts displayed light and dark contrast and dramatic themes, and music emphasized originality and emotions while exploring new forms. In the following slides, we will see specific examples of works from the Romantic era. Painted by Caspar David Friedrich around 1825, Two Men Contemplating the Moon is a very famous painting. While there is no clear reasoning behind it, this painting holds significance. Looking at the political context of Germany at the time of this painting, the barren oak tree, representing Germany, is slowly dying. As the two men gaze at the moon, the light coming from it represents the country's citizens looking for hope. Great religious significance can be found too, as the dying tree represents all pagan things, but the moon represents Jesus Christ. Through the lighting in the painting, we see that Christ is brighter and more vibrant than anything worldly that only leads to death. Friedrich was a significant painter during this time, as he infused landscapes and pictures of nature with emotional and spiritual aspects. I chose this piece because of the contrasting aspects in the painting that make it beautiful. To me, it conveys that even in the midst of bareness and dryness, there's beauty we can choose to focus on instead. This painting still matters today because it holds a timeless message. Even in the midst of destruction, we can choose what we will dwell on. The men didn't focus on the barren landscape that surrounded them, but on the beauty of the moon, something we can translate into our own lives and hold on to forever. Designed by Charles Barry and Augustus Pugin, the Houses of Parliament was officially finished in 1860, after 23 years of construction. Due to a horrible fire, much of the building was destroyed, so construction was undergone to rebuild the damaged building, which is headed by Barry and Pugin. This building is significant in many ways. Its style was chosen because it was neutral to political parties, highlighting English tradition instead. The building as a whole represents the political power and history of the country. Charles had priorly designed many significant buildings, making a name for himself. He successfully won a competition to be deemed the designer of the Houses of Parliament and led the reconstruction of the building. I chose this piece because of the strength it represents. It is a powerful building that represents a powerful government. This piece matters because it cements a concept. While an organization or government doesn't need a home, giving it a building makes it much more substantial. This piece of architecture gave more power to Britain's government and is a substantial piece of Britain's art. Ave Maria, a very powerful piece of music, was composed by Franz Schubert in 1825. Schubert took the lyrics from the poem The Lady of the Lake. Written as a portrayal of a prayer to the Virgin Mary, the song was never intended to be used as an actual prayer, yet Ave Maria gained great significance among Roman Catholics and was repeated as a prayer, despite having no liturgical purpose. Schubert was a skilled artist who composed great lyrics and melodies and wrote multiple symphonies. I chose this piece because the music always speaks to my heart in a way I just cannot describe, as I'm sure it does many others. The melody is heavy yet light and powerful yet somber. This piece still matters today due to its significance in the Catholic Church. Yet outside of its religious popularity, the music moves many people's hearts with its powerful melody and memorable lyrics, making it a continuous staple in music.
Maria, gratia
Hugo wrote his play Hernani in 1830. This piece held great significance even outside of its theme. The play focused on passion and freedom, and rejected the standards of unity between time, place, and action, an enforced guideline of theater at the time. As a result, other playwriters were inspired to reject traditional theater guidelines as well. Hugo was an inspiring leader of the Romantic era, challenging the norms of theater, becoming a famous author, and paving the way for romantics. He inspired those around him and made an everlasting impact on society. I chose this piece because I've heard of Victor Hugo and thought it would be interesting to research one of his plays, but would have never guessed the impact this play had. Hernani became the framework of romantic concepts. It inspired change in theater and art and challenged the norms of artistic expression.
Jeune, on vous destina. Rui de Silva, votre oncle. Et duc de Pastragna, riche homme d'Aragon, comte et grand de Castille. À défaut de jeunesse, il peut, oh jeune fille, vous apporter tant d'or, de bijoux, de joyaux, que votre front reluise entre des fronts royaux. Et pour le rang, l'orgueil, la gloire et la richesse, maintes reines peut-être enviera sa duchesse. Voilà donc ce qu'il est.